an ancient time, the evil mage Garm, using the power of the runestones, released a great evil upon the land. This demon, Scorn, broke free of Garm's control, crushing him and imprisoning his soul in the underworld. Scorn then released his minions upon the lands and scattered the runestones across the 8 realms so that they might never again be assembled and used against him. No one has dared try until now. Gauntlet. Dark Legacy.
Hello everybody, Darkspine Sonic 3 here, coming to you with another episode of Super Mario Sunshine. Except it's not Super Mario Sunshine. It's Gauntlet Dark Legacy. See what I did there? That's not my name. That's my name. Anyway, we're gonna just jump in. Gauntlet is a very special game to me. I used to play this a lot with my brother and my sister. We had a lot of fun with it, and I'm hoping that the same experience can be shared with you and I, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and maybe a couple others. My favorite wizard, or my favorite character, is the wizard. Favorite character is the wizard. He hits pretty hard, but he is kind of slow. Welcome, mighty heroes. The evil mage Garm has broken into my tower and used the runestones to summon the demon Scorn. Scorn broke free from Garm's control and destroyed him. You can see that visually in the opening cinematic. Scorn has unleashed his minions upon the land and scattered the runestones across the 8 realms. Now he has sealed himself in a desecrated temple. The entrance is protected by 8 magical shards. Each is in possession of one of Scorn's mighty guardians, such as the Lich, the Dragon, the Chimera, the Spider Queen, the Plague Fiend, the Shadow Wraith, the Genie, and the Yeti. You must travel to each of the 8 realms. Fight your way through Scorn's minions and defeat the Guardians. Only after obtaining all 8 shards can you enter the desecrated temple and banish Scorn to the underworld. Scorn has sealed the entrance to each realm with a magical shield. Throughout the land you will find crystals which will enable you to remove these shields. I have summoned to my tower enough crystals to unlock one of the 8 realms, the Forsaken Province. Go now. The fate of the realms is in your hands. Thank you. About time someone showed me some respect. Anyway, my favorite character to play as is the wizard, preferably the green wizard, because he kind of looks like the Wizard of Oz. And
congratulations! You now have enough crystals to enter the Forsaken Province.
Thanks, Sumner. That dude's name is Sumner, by the way. S-U-M-N-E-R. You can play as him too. Before I continue with what I was saying, check it out. Ataria. That's because the company who produced this game originally was Atari, which started Midway. Midway created the game. It was so good. One of my favorite games of all time. This is the Forsaken Province. We're going to the Poison Fields, the very first level of the game. After we get 100 red crystals, then we can basically play the game in any order we want. Red crystals will open up the dragons, or the Mountain Kingdom, which was the red area right next to the Forsaken Province entrance. Anyway, I like to play as a wizard because he hits hard, even though he moves a bit slow, and his special move just looks awesome. I mean, look at this. So badass. Potions are, the wizard obviously has a very high magic level. When your magic level is high, your potions go further. So I'll demonstrate that in a little bit when I get to a place that's crowded with enemies. Basically, the button, when you hold it down, I'm playing this on the Xbox original, by the way. when you hold it down, you throw the bottle. When you press the button, then you have a barrier going all around you. And it's pretty strong. It's enough to kill any enemy in one hit. But as your magic increases, as it increases, the range gets better. And it will knock out a lot more, and it'll do a lot more damage to bosses. Strength. They never really explain what the stats do. Magic I can kind of infer based on how he said, you know, use magic to kill enemies. So obviously the magic stat's going to be linked to the potions. I imagine strength has to do with the strength of your shot and probably also the strength of your melee attacks when you walk into an enemy or when you press A while you're walking into an enemy. You'll do some hits. Armor is your defense, and speed is your speed. It's pretty self-explanatory in terms of that. Obviously, this little food with the bone and the crossing bones in it, not good to eat. It's good to trick your friends, though. I used to play this game a lot with my brother and sister, as I mentioned earlier. We had a lot of fun with this game. Past the mill is a well-guarded vault. The aim of the game is to get the 13 rune stones. You're supposed to get the 13 rune stones. By the way, when auto-aim is on, you get to do some pretty cheap stuff, but you know what? It's worth it. See? He's dead. And he dropped bananas for us to eat when we get over there. Generals are kind of difficult to fight. Anyway, the goal of the game is to collect the 13 rune stones that have been scattered across the 8 realms. There are 2 in the Forsaken Province, which is where we are right now. See how powerful that is? There are 2 scattered in the Forsaken Province. One of them is actually in this area. Literally, it's right there. There's actually a door here. There are various hidden walls that you have to destroy in order to, find things. Once you get all 13 runestones, you can go down to the underworld and fight Scorn. However, in order to fight him down in the underworld, you're gonna have to fight him in the desecrated temple first. Scorn has entrusted the 8 pieces of the magical mirror, window actually, to his strongest allies, which would be the bosses of the game. This includes the Lich, the Dragon, the Chimera, the Spider Queen, the Plague Fiend, the Yeti, the Nightmare, or the Shadow Wraith, and the Genie. There are various levels themed after certain things, such as the Forsaken Province is themed just like this, where everything's all doom and gloom and despair, and the Lich is like a Grim Reaper sort of thing. And speaking of the Grim Reaper, Death is in this game, just like he was in the other games. Now, one thing that isn't really commonly known is that you can kill Death without magic. You just need to hit him with a range shot 100 times. I know, right? That thing I just grabbed is called the Phoenix Familiar, not to be confused with Phoenix Wright. I wish, though. You can use the D-pad on your controller, in which case PS2, D-pad, GameCube, D-pad, Xbox, D-pad. Not entirely sure. The arcade machine actually, I think, uses the weapons automatically. I can press up on the D-pad to get a Phoenix Familiar. It has a second shot, and it's a fire-themed shot. Obviously, because it's a phoenix, rise from the ashes, blah, blah, blah. Basically, this is an awesome thing to have this early on in the game. Unfortunately, it doesn't stay. After a certain amount of shots or a certain amount of time has passed, it'll go away. Various items have different effects, like the turbo, this gauge, the purple gauge there in the bottom left corner above my name, that powers your special attack. When you use the turbo, fills it back up. You can only use it once, and you can only hold one at a time. So don't waste it to pick up another. Or actually, yes, waste it to pick up another. But don't pick up another and then use it. These crystals, like I mentioned before, gather 100 of them, and then you'll be able to go on to the next set of levels. Basically, by the time we make it to the 4th level, we'll have enough. There are 5 levels here, 4 levels, and then the boss level. The boss can be kind of difficult. The boss, by the way, is the Lich. I've mentioned that like 3 times already. He's kind of difficult, but if you know how to fight him, then he's no big deal. Now, remember that turbo that I was using? How about having that 5 times repeatedly? That's what this is. BAM! It is the best. And there's actually, if you're a level 99 archer, and you just like stock up on like a whole bunch of super shots in the store, that's what the treasure's for, obviously. Then you can actually kill basically any boss in one hit. If you are level 99, you have a bunch of super shots, you can use your fully charged turbo, because there are 2 levels. One of them, for the wizard, it would be Rock Shower, where in a small radius around him, rocks will rain down and kill any enemy within range. Whereas the Demon Skull, you can basically shoot it off in a direction and it'll wreck shop. But the Archer is very special in the way that when she uses her turbo, her regular shots, or more her arrows, will turn into super shots, and those do a lot of damage to bosses. So if you get like way up in a boss's grill and then use it, you will start off with a couple super shots, you'll start with like 2 or 3 super shots, then you will go off into like this big rant of super shots, and then you'll finish off with a really big like acid breath range, which is really cool. And it can kill almost any boss in any set time. It actually can kill Scorn in one hit if you use it right. And I think it's just awesome. Sigma Sadu actually uses that a lot. He plays a lot of games, but I know him for Gauntlet because I was watching a lot of videos, checking out, you know, various secrets. I wanted to see how he played, and he plays very well. He has some very quality videos, despite recording his TV screen with a camera. But it can be overlooked based on the absolute amazingness that he portrays in the video. I don't know him personally. Wish I did. Dude is awesome. Anyway, that's one strategy you can use on the bosses. Of course, getting to level 99 is easier said than done. The path ahead is laden with traps for the greedy. Never would have guessed, based on that cherry and that weird torch. Geyser, fire geyser. Very out of place in this graveyard of a town. Oh, one thing I didn't mention. These regular enemies, they come in 3 different levels. There are the farmer types. There are like the smaller blue types like these, except not those, because bow and arrow enemies are basically rare. I'm not gonna open that chest because I know that there's a bomb inside. Chests can contain bombs, and it's not fun. So save your keys whenever you can. You can hold a maximum of 9 potions. Shut up, Sumner. And then the big buff ones, these are the level 2 enemies. They got the hooks for hands. The level is based on their level of their spawner. So when I hit this thing, well, never mind, because it's dead. These are level 3s. When a full tombstone is standing upright, it will summon the level 3s. When you hit it, if you're really weak, then it will weaken it to like a kind of like slowly dying tombstone. Do not pass through this gate until you find 2 switches. Okay, there's one. That will spawn the hook zombies. And then if you hit it again, it'll go down to a, it'll go down to, like, a tombstone that's been split in half, and that's dedicated to level 1 farmers that are really easy to kill because they're so small and weak and vulnerable and easy to kill. So, there's that. And ultimately, you are going to encounter a lot of those. There are different themes for each level, like I mentioned before. I'll punch you. Learn to block. I don't care. So, there are different themes for each level. The Mountain Kingdom is going to be very... It's going to start off like on the outside of the mountain. There's going to be like a waterfall and a lot of steam. Death awaits those who try to pass. Prepare yourself. In like the kingdom, there will be like evil soldiers, kind of. They all have the same abilities, and other types of enemies will be revealed as well. This is Death. It's a statue, but when you awaken it, which I intend to do right now, I will... Well, never mind. It'll chase you around. Red Death steals 100 health points before leaving, with a very, very sinister and very disturbing laugh, by the way. This game haunted me as a child. Black Death will steal a level. If you use an anti-death, which is a halo above your head, then you will be able to use... You'll be able to use that against them. You drain 100 health from the from Red Death, and that can go towards overbuffing your health. If you have a maximum of 800, you can go up to 900 then. But you can't, like, you know, grab food and go any higher or heal yourself like that. Your max will still be 800. Black Death will give you a level if you use the anti-death on it, and it's very helpful. My max health is up to 700, strength is at 260, armor 160, magic 610, speed 360, armor is very low. When you get 1,000, money, then you have the option of, you know, upgrading your stats. 1,000 gold will go towards one, you know, stat. Usually it says, yeah, it'll go up by 5. Let me stop.
Congratulations, you have found a runestone.
Thanks, Sumner. That looks awesome. Look at that thing, it's yellow. Anyway, where was I? It usually says, you know, it'll increase it by 5, or maybe even 10, I don't quite remember. But apparently it increases it by 20. So there's that. I mean, I know that happens in the GameCube version. I can't confirm it happens here because I haven't played a lot on the Xbox. They're exactly the same, and I have the game on the PS2 and the GameCube and the Xbox because I really like this game. And I wanted to see the differences on the different platforms for myself. And I've come down to this. The Xbox version is superior, namely because it has the ability for you to see the health of your enemies. It allows you to see the health of the bosses and the not the generals, but there are things called gargoyles or golems, and then gargoyles, I think they are. I'm not entirely sure. I always got them mixed up because they were never too memorable. Not all food can be found at ground level. You mean this big blue thing here can go down? Gasp. It's a rug. It's a nice rug. You could definitely get like $5 for them at a garage sale. I mean, that's the best kind. You try making $5 on a rug. It's tough. I haven't been there though, but anyway. The generals, the gargoyles, they all have health bars. The bosses have, or not the generals, the golems. They have health bars. The bosses have health bars. Plus, 4-player support is allowed. I think it's allowed in the PS2 version as well, and the GameCube version, so that's not really anything to comment on. But it's the only game that, like, when you use component cables, you can really tell. This game actually looks a lot better than what you would have originally seen if you were playing on the GameCube or even the PS2. PS2 version released first, or more, the arcade version released first, and then the PS2 version, and then the Xbox and GameCube versions came after. Maybe not in that order for Xbox and GameCube, but you know what, I'm only one guy. I'm doing my best under the circumstances. They also had this game released on the Game Boy Advance, and it was not that good because everything was super slow. And when I say that, I mean every single character slow. Yeah, you can level up their stats, still slow. I played it, didn't enjoy it. As a matter of fact, I wanted my money back and I played it on an emulator. So, yeah, maybe that'll be a one-off one of these days if I can get an actual copy and play it on my Retron, but for right now, it's not something I would really focus on. Anyway, this game looks a lot better than what you would have normally seen on the GameCube or the PS2. The arcade machine, it plays similarly to Gauntlet Legends, considering Dark Legacy is just a reboot of Legends with more options. As opposed to having 4 available characters, now you have 4 more, plus 8 more versions of each character with higher stats and different appearances. Like, it's basically their spirit animal in such a way that the wizard spirit animal is a jackal. The jester's is a hyena, fittingly, because they both have horrible laughing fits and it's just stupid. And, you know, stuff like that. I think the warrior's a unicorn. Or the knight is a unicorn or something like that. One of them is a hawk. Or a falconess, sorry. And, you know, it goes on like that. One of them is Medusa. The sorcerer, or the sorceress is Medusa. So there's that. There has not been a Gauntlet release for many years after Gauntlet 7 Sorrows came out, which was a couple years after Dark Legacy came out, except for recently. And for this, I am so absolutely ecstatic. Midway was... They flopped. They flopped pretty hard. They went bankrupt and they had to sell everything, including the rights to Gauntlet, and that was bought by Warner Brothers. Their game division remade the first game, gave it online compatibility, gave it DLC in the terms of an extra character. Not quite sure why I'd pay $5 for an extra character, though. That's it, but maybe I'll check it out someday and I'll show you guys, because I have the game and I played through it and I love it. It's too short, though, just like the original game. Anyway, they added in bosses and stuff like that, and I pre-ordered the game, so I got special perks. I got a nice little helmet that looks a lot like Scorn, which I thought was awesome considering Gauntlet Dark Legacy is my favorite game of all time. Plus, you also get like this really cool axe for the warrior. Both the hat and the axe are for the warrior, by the way. You get like a really cool axe made of like... I don't remember. It's been a while since I played Gauntlet, because after I beat it, I stopped playing because I started focusing on recording. Ah! That's a bomb. Anyway, I'm gonna have a lot to say. Oh god. This episode is going on way longer than I expected. So, we're gonna cut this off here. If you liked what you saw in this video, be sure to like, comment, maybe even subscribe. You know, if you want to see a little bit more. Because I've got a lot to show of this game. Believe me. This game is not short by any means. And next time you see me, I'll be continuing off from right where we are. So, without further ado, I'm Darkspine Sonic 3. Thank you, and goodbye.